In this session, we are going to discuss about snapshot, clone, and template. First, let's understand what's a snapshot. Snapshot is nothing but it is kind of restore point. If anything goes wrong with the server, we can quickly restore the server to the previous state. How to do that and how to work on the snapshot? Let's see. Connect to vCenter server. It's a recording is happening, right?
Yes.
Okay. See, for example, what are the scenarios? The snapshot is very important and how to work on the snapshot. Okay. Let's say, for example, we are working on a server and in administration, you are going to perform different tasks on the server. Server in the sense, it could be Linux, it could be Windows server, any server. What is the day-to-day works? We are going to do patching activity or for some issue, we are going to change some configuration on the server. It may be application related or it may be voice related or anything. So we are not sure it is going to work as expected. So how to restore if something goes wrong with the server, how quickly we restore the server to the original state. So that's the concept. The snapshot is going to work out well in these scenarios. For example, Windows patching. We are going to perform Windows patching on regular intervals or some issues happen. As soon as we complete the installation of Windows patch, the server is not responding, the application is not working as expected. So what administrator is going to do is, he is going to create a snapshot before installing the patches, before installing the updates. So what will happen? As soon as create a snapshot, right click on the server, right click on the VM. The snapshot is applicable for only virtual machines. Okay, right click on the VM, any VM. The snapshot is there. The snapshot option is available if you connect directly to the server individually. Directly connecting to one means if you connect individual ESXi host directly from BC client or web client, the snapshot option is available. That in the sense you can connect ESXi host directly to create a snapshot, or else you can connect vCenter server to work on the snapshot. In both places, it is the same options. There is no change. Let's understand. Go to edit settings. Whatever the server is there, select hard disk. Select another server wherein snapshot is not there. Select a DB server. Snapshot is there. Select hard disk one. Okay, snapshot is there. Okay. Or any other server without snapshot. AD server, select AD server and see snapshot is there or not. Okay. What I'm going to do, let's delete the snapshot for this server. Okay, I'm going to come back to this part topic, how to create a snapshot. What is the importance of snapshot? Okay, snapshot manager. Delete all. Let's back to the topic. Let's continue this one. So whenever you are going to do the snapshot creation, what it is going to do is whatever the hard disk, where the files are going to store, what are the operating system files, what are the application files, everything is going to save on the respective hard disk. If the hard disk is only one, okay. If it is a different hard disk, that is fine. What it is going to do, whatever the hard disks are there on the server, okay, it is going to be, as soon as you create a snapshot, it is going to enter into read-only state. Let's go and edit settings for this AD server. Edit settings. Hard disk. Now see this particular hard disk, the server is there, and what is a VMDK file? The disk file. What is a disk file? It is a server name .vmdk. We know that hard disk file is nothing but an extension with VMDK. Okay. Now, if you see here, this server without snapshot in the sense the server is, we can edit the settings of the disk. See, and that 40 GB, whatever the 40 GB is there, I can do modification. Okay, let's do it. Close this and go to browse data store for this particular server. Go to data store and see what are the files are there before creating a snapshot. Select where this particular server, select lab 2, go to configuration, storage, lab 2 or lab 1. Okay, browse, do data store browse. Select AD server, see what is the files contents. Select only VMDK, expand the window, maximize the window. Here if you see how many VMDK files are there, there's a different files, log files. We know that what are the files is related to what file is related to what. See here, what we are going to discuss, before understanding the snapshot, first we need to understand what is a virtual disk file. See here, VMDK file, how many VMDK files are there? Only one VMDK file, that is hard disk. As soon as we create a snapshot, what it is going to happen is, whatever this particular 40 GB disk, that is .vmdk, server name .vmdk, this file is going to enter into read-only state. That in the sense, there is no modification is going to write the data on this particular virtual disk. As soon as we create a snapshot, we'll see what are the additional files it is going to create. Okay, come back to this VM, right click and create a snapshot. AD server, right click, snapshot. Here there are different options are available. Take snapshot, revert to current snapshot, just cancel snapshot, take snapshot, just wait. Take snapshot, revert current to snapshot, snapshot manager, consolidate. These four options are available. We'll see what is going to happen for what. Okay, first we are going to create a snapshot. Take a snapshot in the sense, click on take snapshot. Give the name. For example, you are doing a patching activity, Windows Server patching activity, for example. What we are going to mention here, before Windows updates, before Windows patching, or what we in enterprise environment, what we are going to do, there will be a change number. We know that as per ITL process, whatever the changes are going to happen on the server, there will be a change record. For example, if you are working on incident based, so we are going to mention the incident. As per this incident, we are creating a snapshot. Basically, snapshot is very much useful before doing any modification on the server. It is advised, it is recommended to create a snapshot. Snapshot is nothing but a quick restore point. Let's see what it is going to happen. I'm going to mention some information related to my snapshot. Okay, there are two checkboxes are available. Snapshot with the virtual machine memory, the checkbox, and quiz, there is another checkbox. What these two options are going to work, how these two options are going to work. Snapshot with the virtual memory. What we are going to creating snapshot, whatever the files are there, that is virtual disk, that is .vmdk, that is main important function. Second thing is that memory. Why we need to create a memory? For example, whatever the execution is happening on the server, if you select snapshot for which memory also, if you select that option, what it is going to do, whatever the contents are there on the memory, it is going to copy that content and keep it aside. Okay, what is the current state of the virtual memory? What are the execution? What are the there and buffer in memory buffer? Those contents also will take and keep it aside for further analysis. So generally in production environment, we are not going to create select virtual machine memory. When we need to select, we'll see later. First, for the time being, we are going to unselect that checkbox. What is the second option? Fees. Fees in the sense it is very much important. Fees file system. Fees in the sense whatever the files at OS layer, that guest file system, whatever the operating system files, open files or any open files or anything, it is going to take a photocopy, VSS, volume shadow copy, we call it as on Windows. Similar way, there is a Linux operating system or some content will be there. Whatever the open files are there, those open files freeze for a particular second and take a copy, so that it is going to create all files without any loss of data. Everything will be constrained for the snapshot purpose. Generally, regular snapshot process, we are not going to select these two check boxes. Regular snapshot process, we are not going to check these two boxes. When they are going to important, we'll see later. Let's proceed and click OK. So snapshot is going to create. Let's see, go to the data store browse and see what are the files it is created. Select AD server. If you see here, select the size, click on size, the topmost, click on size. Yes. Expand a little more. Refresh. Data store refresh. Yeah, refresh tab is there, right? Yes. See what are the files it got created. Let's see what the file it is going to create as soon as we create a snapshot. Is snapshot creation completed?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Go to edit settings of the AD server. Select the hard disk. See here, if you notice the hard disk, are you able to modify? What it is going to do is, whatever the VMDK file, that size, it is going to enter into read-only state. And it is going to create a new file. What is the previous path? It is just a server name .vmdk. Now, what is the file name it got created? Server name -0001.vmdk. So whatever the modification is going to happen, like if you want to install patches, if you want to modify some files on the server, whatever the modifications are, they are going to write in this the particular file. What will happen? The original VMDK file, that original VMDK file will enter into the read-only state. Read-only state, and this particular file will get create, and whatever the modification you are going to do on the server, it is going to write this particular snapshot file, that is hyphen server name hyphen 0001, like that. And you are whenever there is a snapshot, you are not in a position to do any modification on the hard disk. So like increasing the size of the hard disk, see it is grayed out. That in the sense, snapshot is there on the server. That's the reason it is not going to allow any modification on the hardware end. Hardware end for the respective hard disk. Okay. Let's go back and see the files and data store. What is the file it got created? There are different files it is going to create, and what is the original disk. Go to data store browse, cancel here. Refresh and see. See, there is one more VMDK file got created. See what is the file. Actually, that is the original VMDK file. If you see one more VMDK file, that is -000 VMDK file. Here, what important point you need to understand, what is the provisional size? The snapshot, whenever you are going to create a snapshot, what it is going to happen? It is going to write the data according to modification from the time to snapshot taken. As soon as the snapshot is going to create, it is going to create a new file, and whatever the modifications are going to happen on the server, those modification is going to write into this particular file. What is the size limit for this particular file? First, initially, it is going to create equal size of the hard disk, and it is going to increase. For example, you are doing some modification, 10 MB file or 15 MB file. Whatever the modification you are going to do, those modification is going to come into picture, and it is going to increase until equal size of the hard disk. Total size is 40 GB, and the snapshot file can increase up to equal size of the hard. Okay, this is a snapshot process. How many snapshots we can create? Come back, and go to Snapshot Manager. Generally, the go to Snapshot Manager. See here. Now, in this Snapshot Manager, how it is going to work in the sense, what are the snapshot we created? The snapshot we created with for Windows updates. Okay, Windows update. For example, Windows updates I'm doing. After Windows updates, I'm going to do some modification again. Okay. First, I created a Windows update patch purpose. And do for that purpose, what it is going to have, it is going to work. The snapshot process is going to work as a parent and child. Parent and child. See here in this particular architecture, who is the parent? My 40 GB original disk is the parent. Who is my child? 0001.vmdk. What are the file it is got created? That is child. So whatever the modifications are going to happen, those files are going to update in 01. For example, I'm going to create one more snapshot. Let's see what is going to happen. Cancel, close, create one more snapshot. That in the sense after Windows updates, I'm going to create one more snapshot before doing further updates, further modification on the server. Say for example, modifying network. Create snapshot. You can provide the description, give clear information, what action we are going to do, what purpose we are creating snapshot, everything. Now go to edit settings and go to snapshot manager. See, if you go to hard disk, select hard disk path. Previously, what is the path? It is 0001. Now what happened? It created a 002. Okay, this is the file it is going to create on the data store path. Now go back and go to right click, go to snapshot manager. See here how it is getting created. First, there is a top object that is 40 GB hard disk. Underneath, there is a child. That is what child Windows update purpose we created a snapshot. That is a child. Now we created one more snapshot. What it is going to happen? It is going to be child for previous state. That is previous state Windows update we created a snapshot. That will be become as a parent for current snapshot. Okay, this is a process in a snapshot. Like this, how many snapshots you can create? We can create any server up to 32 snapshots. 32 snapshots we can create per server. But most important thing is that snapshot is a only restore point, and we should not keep the snapshot as per VMware recommendation more than 24 hours. What will happen? See, The original disk is going to read-only state, and what are the modifications is going to happen? It is going to create a new file, right? What is that file of size? It is equivalent size of the hard disk, and it can grow up to equal size. Whatever the hard disk size, can grow up to that particular size. But initially, it is going to create a small component, just a KB size. But according to modification, the file size, the snapshot file keep on increases and reaches until size of the hard disk. That is a point. Now, if you keep on creating snapshot, what it is going to happen? It is going to append the data, new file, it creates a new file, and it is going to append the data will be written into the new file. So the IO, whatever the IO is going to happen, it is going to increase the snapshot performance. It is going to write the data on a temporary location. So the performance of the snapshot, performance of the server will depends upon the disk IOs. So that's the reason whenever we create a snapshot, what purpose we are going to create, it is the purpose of quick restore. Once the activity is done, once verification is done, everything is fine, then what we need to delete. If the application or OS is not functioning after performing some action, what we need to do. Okay, so go back to this snapshot manager. See here, there is an option, delete all, delete. If you select delete all, what is going to happen? If you select delete, what is going to happen? What is go to? Okay, close here, click on close, right click on server, snapshot, revert snapshot. See, don't click on revert snapshot. Let's understand what is a revert. So we created a snapshot for purpose of quick restore point. Now it is a time to understand what delete is going to do, what revert is going to do. If I select revert to current snapshot, revert to current snapshot in the sense there are two snapshots are available. Okay, one is Windows patch snapshot, the other one latest one is network modification. If, for example, if I click here, restore to click current state, what is the point it will go to restore point? Latest snapshot, that is network modification. For example, if I want to go to Windows update snapshot, then what I need to do is go to snapshot manager, click on snapshot manager. Then I need to choose go to option, select the what are the snapshot. For example, you created multiple snapshots. Then I can choose, select that particular snapshot if in the snapshot chain, and we can click on go to. As soon as you quickly restore to point, what it is going to do, the snapshot process, it is going to update parent and child object. For example, in this scenario, for Windows update, who is the parent? The main 40 GB is the parent. For network modification snapshot, who is the parent? My parent is 001 VMDK file. So this parent and child in the snapshot process, if it breaks, something happens in the process of deleting or updating, our server, the virtual machine is going to be unstable. We cannot restore. So while working on snapshot, what purpose we are creating snapshot? For quick restore. So what are the actions generally in enterprise environment? We are going to create only one snapshot. When we are going to create, for example, a developer is working on a server, the code they are changing, keep on changing. Code version 1, code version 2, code version 3. They want to test that code, how it is working. So if any something goes wrong, they can quickly restore to some particular code version. That is going to happen with the development server environment. Generally, in enterprise environment, in a production environment, we are going to create only one snapshot for quick restore. That too, we are not going to keep the snapshot more than 24 hours. That is a recommended approach as per VMware vendor. Okay, now come back. What is Revert is going to do? If you select Revert, generally in enterprise only one snapshot will be there. If you choose Revert, what will happen? Cancel, close here, don't click on Revert. What Revert is going to do? Revert Don't click on revert. Revert in the sense, we know that the original disk is only read-only state. Whatever the snapshot it creates, it is kind of read and write. Okay. As soon as you click on revert snapshot, what it is going to do is, whatever the modification happened, what are the modifications right on the snapshot file, those will be discarded. Those will be, as soon as we click revert, whatever the modifications are happened, those modifications we are going to choose as a discard. As soon as it discards, what snapshot option the revert snapshot is going to do, it restore the original disk. Restore the original disk in the sense, until this restore point, what it is, the original disk is only read-only mode. Now, as soon as you choose revert, what will happen? It discards the modifications, and the original disk is come back as a read and write. That is a revert quick restore. It's just according to the snapshot process, it takes just 5 minutes to restore to previous state. Okay. Now, my patches, everything is updated properly, and my server is working fine, application is working fine. After 24 hours, after change window, they are going to verify everything is working fine. Then what we need to do with this snapshot? Then we are going to go to Snapshot Manager, click on Snapshot Manager. Everything is working fine, server, no issues reported. Then what we are going to do, we are going to come here and choose, if it is only one, we can say choose delete all. If it is a multiple snapshot, we can choose delete all. What delete all is going to do is, whatever the modifications are there, it could be snapshot 1 or snapshot 2, what are the modifications there, what it is going to do, as soon as you click on delete, the original disk is come back to the read on write mode. And whatever the childs are there, from each child, the data is going to append to previous parent. For example, in this scenario, who is parent for the last network modification? My parent is first Windows updates. So first child, the last child in the chain is going to delete the data by appending to previous parent. By appending the data, whatever the modifications are there on that file, those modifications are going to append. They're going to write to parent disk and delete the file. This process will continue until reaching the topest child. Click delete all. Let's see what is going to happen. First, which one is going to delete all? First, what file it is going to delete and what is going to do and all those things we'll see. So we need to understand what Revert is going to do. Click as. What Revert is going to be on the same screen. Let's see how it is going to append the data. First, what it is going to delete and all. As it is a small files, both files got deleted. Otherwise, what will happen? First, the last file, it is going to what it is the parent. What are the parent until the snapshot is there? It is in read-only mode. As soon as you click delete option, what it is going to do, the parent will change the mode from read to read and write. And then what are the modifications happen on the file, those files will append the data to parent disk. Okay, once that is done, the next option, next process deleter, it is going to, that particular parent is become as a read and write, and then whatever the modifications are there in child the snapshot file, those modifications will append to the parent. This is going to happen in a delete process. That in the sense, what are the modification? It is going to append the data to original disk and delete. In revert option, what it is going to do? It discards. It is not going to consider. It discards the data, what are the modification, and original disk come back as it is as an online. That is in revert option. Here. So in the delete process, the original server is not going to impact or anything. Close this. If I choose revert snapshot, what will happen is, we selected a snapshot, create a snapshot, take a snapshot. Now, what will happen? Take a snapshot, don't click on that. No, wait, don't click on anything. If the virtual machine the first option, snapshot the virtual machine memory. If I select that option, if I select restore point, if I revert the snapshot, what it is going to do, in this particular condition, I haven't selected both the checkboxes. If I take a snapshot in this condition, for example, something wrong on the server, it is a live running server, something wrong on the server after my modification. If I choose revert option, it is going to discard the data, okay? And the original disk is going to come as a read on write. As I haven't created the virtual memory, the memory content snapshot, what will happen is, as soon as you select a restore point, the modifications, everything will be discarded and the server will go on an off state. Currently it is running, right? Server will go to off state and we need to power on the server so that to come to restore point. If I select the snapshot with the memory, what the memory content will be there on the snapshot. If I choose revert, this is an online activity. Server will not go down. Server will be quickly restored to previous state in the same condition. No need to power off. It's not going down. Server will be online even if you select restore. When if you select the checkbox of snapshot virtual machine memory. If you are not going to select virtual machine memory snapshot, the server, if you go for restore option, if you go to revert snapshot option, the server will go down. You need to do manual action to power on the server. Okay, revert snapshot without this checkbox. With checkbox, what it is going to happen? With checkbox, the server will become back to the previous state with online condition. When if you select the first checkbox, if I'm not going to select the first checkbox, what is going to happen? The server, as soon as you choose revert option, the server will go down. You need to do manual power on. That is revert. There is one more option. Right click on the server, cancel here. Right click on the server, go to snapshot. There are one more option. What is consolidation? We know that what is take snapshot, what is revert to current snapshot, what is snapshot manager. Now, what is a consolidation? Generally, whenever we create a snapshot, what it is happening, delete or revert, what it is going to happen, whatever the modification child partition created, the child file will get deleted. 001 or 002, what are the file? Those will be deleted from the data store. If sometimes what will happen, the snapshot process is not going to complete. The original disk is not coming as a read-only, a read and write option. It will stuck there, but snapshot gets deleted. Snapshot gets reverted, whatever it may be. But the files will be there as it is, like original VMDK file will be there on the data store, 0001 file will be there. The snapshot parent child is not completely removed. During that scenario, we are going to choose the consolidation option. Consolidation is nothing but we are doing a manual request to append the data, remove that snapshot file and make sure only original disk is available on the data store. Consolidation is nothing but it again. During snapshot deletion, what happens? Whatever it is going to append to the original disk and delete the file, snapshot file. Sometimes the snapshot files will be there on the respective data store. So I'm going to initiate a manual consolidation so that whatever the snapshot files are there, it will clear up housekeeping and then only original file will be there. That is a consolidation. This is all about snapshot. Then again, click on take snapshot, click on take snapshot. There is one more checkbox, last checkbox, please guest file system. Please guest file system in the sense, some servers are going to inner open files will be there. Open files will be there. Those files for backup purpose. Backup purpose, this is going very much important. Whenever there is a backup configuration completed, snapshot is not a backup. Try to understand. Snapshot is not a backup. It is a quick restore point. What is a backup? Backup in the sense, whatever the image is there, whatever the files are there, snapshot files and VMDK file, VMX file, all those things. In snapshot creation, what happens? Only the VMDK file, it is going to read-only mode, and it is going to create a new files on the same data store. If you delete the snapshot, what will happen? All files will be discarded. Okay. What is a backup? Backup in the sense, what are the VMDK file, what are the VMX file, what are the files, everything, all those files will go into the tape library, the backup media. The backup media. For that, they are going to use third party, either TSM backup or net backup or different softwares are their backup purpose. Those they are going to come talk to the vCenter server and take a snapshot, copy the data. While taking a snapshot, that backup application is going to enable this checkbox, last checkbox, so that whatever the files in open state, those files also considered for backup to take the photo and send the data to the tape library. And then it initiates a deletion. From this taking snapshot, enabling this last checkbox and copy the data to backup media, everything is auto process from the respective backup console. Okay, this is a snapshot. How quickly restore, how to take the backup, it is all depends on snapshot. Without snapshot, they cannot take backup. Their backups are two types: file level backup, image level backup. If the backup is happening through the TSM snapshot, that in the sense, this TSM snapshot, complete server is going to backup media as a complete server. This is, we call it as a image level backup. File level backup in the sense, they are going to install the backup client on the respective OS and initiate a backup process, that is file level backup. Okay, there is no relation with the vCenter server or VMware if you consider file level. If it is an image level in the sense entire image, the server image needs a backup, then they are going to come and depend upon this particular VMware. By coordinating VMware, they are going to take a snapshot and send the data to backup media. Once that is done, they are going to delete. This is the process. Now, cancel. Now, clone option. This is all about snapshot. Okay. Now, right click on the same server, VID server. See, clone and template. Clone and template, what is the important purpose? Clone, what clone is going to do, what template is going to do. Clone is in the nothing but it is exact similar copy of the server. Is this clone option is available if I connect directly to this particular ESXi host? Go to this any direct ESXi host. Connect directly to the ESXi host. If you see this particular server, the same ESXi host, the same server. For example, there are two servers are available under this ESXi host. Right click on this VM. See what are the options. Is there any option for clone and template? That in the sense, clone and template options are going to come into picture whenever you connect to vCenter server. If that particular VM, if you access to through vCenter server, then only you are going to get a clone and template option. If I connect individual ESXi host through web client or directly to VC client, this clone and option is not available. To access the clone and template, you must connect to vCenter server. Okay, so try one snapshot. If you click on snapshot, the same snapshot options available in both the places equally. There is no difference while working on snapshot. You can directly connect to ESXi host to work on snapshot, or else you can directly connect to vCenter server. For snapshot, there is no difference for working on snapshot management. Coming to the clone, to work on clone, what is a clone? Clone is nothing but clone general copy. It is a copy of original as it is. Come back to the vCenter server, right click on the server, clone. What is a clone? If you want to copy same server for the purpose of other purpose or anything, backup purpose or anything, I can choose the clone. What is the clone is going to do? I'm going to select a clone option, AD server, select AD server, yes. What is the least server is available in this environment? Go to edit settings, this particular AD server edit settings.
Yeah, this one on the list.
How about the update server? Update, one more server is there in power of state. What is the size of that virtual disk?
I think
I'm going to see that.
that is
Okay,
a
no problem.
specificity.
Hard disk, select hard disk, only 40 GB. Okay, this is the least one. Okay, let's go and then delete, create a snapshot, create a clone. What clone is going to do? Select option clone. Clone is nothing but I'm going to create a same copy of the server in my environment. And what purpose I'm going to use, what purpose we are going to use that server, respective server, it's all depends upon according to requirement. So clone is a smart feature to work on this environment and enterprise environment. For example, I need to deploy a new server with a similar configuration, similar OS, similar application. Okay. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to work on this clone option so that I can create a new server without working on Windows updates, configuration, all those things. Once, just give it a name. I'm going to create one more domain controller. Let's see what it's going to do. Generally, clone option is very cool feature to work on if they want the same server configuration as a different server. Okay, what we need to do? Let's proceed. Just give the some name, and clone is nothing but I'm creating a new server with the same configuration, same OS, same files are there. Everything will be there same. What is going to happen in the background? Let's see. Click on next. Select the production. Select any data store. Okay, next. Next. Go back, come back. What we need to understand here, what we are going to create, we need to understand clone is nothing but we are creating a new virtual machine. While creating a new virtual machine, we know what are the things we need to select. One is where to place this VM on ESXi host. New virtual machine is nothing but it is going to create a files. So where to store those files and respect to data store. I am selecting those options now. Okay, click next. As soon as we click next, don't modify any configuration. If you want to modify any configuration, we can do so here. If you want, once a clone is done, if you have power on, directly power on the server, we can do power on by selecting the respective checkbox. But what will happen? My server is an up and running state. I'm going to copy the same server. If I bring the server, the copy server also into the network, what will happen? The server is going to have same IP. The server is going to have the same name. There will be a conflict once it comes into the network. Generally, whenever we do clone, we are not going to power on the server until the configuration is complete. Okay, so that's the reason we are not going to customize. We are not going to select power on virtual machine after the clone. So what it is going to see? The clone process, again, it is going to depend upon snapshot. As I told you, creating a snapshot, what it is going to do for the restore point. In this clone process, it is going to copy. How it is going to copy? It is going to create a snapshot with a quiz option. It is, if you see the background process, we'll see until this point on this particular server, there is no snapshot, right? Now, I'm just creating a clone. As soon as I select clone, what it is going to do, it is going to depend on snapshot. In the snapshot, it is going to take the clone operation is going to take a snapshot with a quiz option. With a quiz option. That in the sense, what are the files also, everything is required for this particular server. So what are the open files, what are the files, everything should be required on the as it is. Or what are the current state. It is going to create a snapshot with a quiz checkbox enable and start the process. Let's select next and see what is going to happen. Click next, finish. So background, see, I selected a clone process. In background, what is going to happen? Let's click finish and right click on the server now. See, all options will be disabled by default. Go to Snapshot Manager and see what snapshot it got created. Go to Snapshot Manager. See, clone temp. This is temporarily snapshot to taken as part of this clone for operation. This temporary snapshot will be deleted once clone operation is complete. That in the sense, clone is nothing but it is going to create a snapshot with a quiz, the last checkbox, okay? And copies the entire data, similar data, entire data. Virtual machine is nothing but a data. What it is going to create a new folder according to my name and copy the entire data, whatever the contents are there, what are the VMX file, everything will be copied to the new location and creates a new virtual machine. Okay, this is a clone operation. So once the clone is done, it's our responsibility to modify network, system name, server name on the respective server. Otherwise, there will be a conflict with the existing server. Only one instance should be online. This is a clone option. What is a template? Close. Close this. Template is nothing but if I want to deploy same servers, for example, I completed Windows 2000 R2 installation, the same component I required multiple servers I need to deploy. Creating a server, installing updates, it is going to tedious job. So I make the image ready for everything. I'm going to create a clone first. That image will be there. And once the clone is ready, I'm going to right click on the server, any power of server, right click on the power of server, right click on power of server, any server. Template. The template option, there are two options are available. Clone to template, convert to template. I can create a clone and then it is going to convert to template. There are other options, the same virtual machine, I can choose convert to template. Okay, there are two options. What it is going to happen if I want to deploy same image on multiple servers, how to deploy a server from a template, we'll see the next session. So there are two options are available. To create a template, that particular server should be in a power off state. Power on, if the power on state, I'm not in a position to create convert to template. Okay, and once we create a template, we cannot to do any modification. What purpose we are creating a template? Template for a multiple deployments. If I want to deploy 10 servers with the same image, same updates, I'm going to use the template to deploy those 10 virtual machines, 10 servers with OS, with configuration, everything. Only thing is that I need to change the system name and I need to change the IP address. That's it. Rest all will be there on the same.